Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Double J's List. And I thought that there's no better way to start my new channel about automotive endeavors than this one. This is my 2002 Lexus LX470 that I just recently acquired from a family member. And it does need a little bit of TLC. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the different things that it could use. The vehicle's been in my family since it was almost new. So it's been neglected the past few years, and I'm going to bring it back up to date. For those of you who don't know, this is really a Toyota Land Cruiser with a nicer wrapper and interior, essentially. I'm going to go ahead and fix all the little issues on it. It actually has pretty low miles for a Land Cruiser. It only has 131,000 miles, but it does need a few little things that I'm going to try to address over the next little while. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of the Lexus LX470, and we'll take a quick look. As you can see, the interior is really nice. It was top of the line, not a cheap vehicle back in 2002. It does show some wear and tear. If you look at the steering wheel, it's starting to crack and become a little bit discolored, the burled walnut section of it. Other than that, it's actually in pretty decent shape. The leather's a little bit tired and cracked, but it's actually holding up and not ripped anywhere, which is really nice. Some of the issues that this truck has, I'll start with the biggest. It's the hydraulic suspension system known as the AHC. So we'll turn it on. Now it has this automatic height control. As you can see, this switch here, one switch controls the rotary knob controls the ride, and then this switch here controls the ride height. Currently, right now, it's indicating that it's at a neutral position in the dash. So right now, it seems to be kind of stuck there, because if I press the button to raise it, it'll start flashing, and you should see it start to come up a little bit. It still looks like it's trying to get up there. There's a little squeaking coming from under the hood. And there it goes. Now it's going back down to its neutral position, and it's giving me an error. So underneath the hood, there's a tank. By the way, if I turn it off and start it back up again, now it's not blinking off anymore, and it seems fine. Interesting. If we look under the hood, there's a tank that contains hydraulic fluid for it. There you can see the 2UZFE engine, V8. That's actually one of the most reliable engines Toyota's ever made. And you can see the tank. And it's kind of tough to tell unless you open it and then take out the strainer. But there's very little fluid in there. It's actually a little foamy and frothy. It's very dirty. So one of my plans is to attempt to get that fluid level up and see if that's the reason that it's acting up and not wanting to go to its high level. One of the other issues you probably heard when it started up is it has an exhaust manifold that's leaking. I haven't figured out which one it is yet. I do have service records from it, and they've been replaced before. It's a common issue on this engine. We'll see how I get to that eventually. But then the rest of the issues are relatively minor. First off, the tires they pass inspection for New York, but they're very dry rotted and they don't have that much tread left. That's actually going to get resolved very soon, as I have brand new tires in the back to install, and that'll be a new video shortly after this one. One of the other issues is the tilt steering wheel works, as you can see, up and down, but then in and out doesn't do anything. That's another really common issue I found on the I Hate Mud forum that's specific to Land Cruisers. So we'll probably resolve that one of these days. That'll be another project. Another issue is the lumbar doesn't work. So when you press this button, it's supposed to make the lumbar support go in and out, and it doesn't do anything anymore. Another one of the issues, really common on these, is the hatch is rusty. You can see some bubbles right here. If you look underneath, you can see actually it's pretty bad on the seam. And every time you open and close it, you get a little bit of rust that falls off. So that's going to have to get replaced one of these days. Another little issue that the truck has is behind this jump seat. I can't really see it. There is a subwoofer, and the surround has blown out. That's another common issue on these. And there's actually kits to replace that surround, so you don't have to replace a whole speaker. Another issue the vehicle has is that it's got some rust here and there. It's not exactly perfect. It has me concerned about those hydraulic lines for the suspension. That's why I think the suspension is losing fluid. I think that the lines are leaking. We can look underneath. You can see there's a lot of surface rust on various parts. There's one of the globes for the suspension. It's not rotted out by any means, but it's definitely seen some buffalo winters. One of the other projects I have is to add Bluetooth to this. Factory navigation from 2002. But as you can see, it looks like it's from 2002, but it does still work. I have a Grom audio Bluetooth adapter that works for adding Bluetooth, both streaming audio and phone calls, to OEM stereos that basically the idea of that didn't exist. So that'll be really exciting. All I have to do is buy a wiring harness from Grom Audio. So hopefully that will be a really nice, easy project. So in conclusion, this will be the project of mine for the next few months to see if we can just shake it down and make it really nice. I also plan on adding other things to this channel, such as my thoughts and opinions about my 2014 Volkswagen Jetta Sportwagen TDI that was one of the buyback cars of part of that scandal. I actually plan on doing a buyer's guide for those vehicles because there's a great warranty that's included with them. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. And hopefully the project will move along pretty well.